Van Helsing versus Robin Hood issue number 2. So, I have become a huge fan of, I don't know if they pronounce it Zine Scope or Zene Scope, but yeah, whatever, however you want to pronounce this publisher's name. I've become a huge fan of them lately. I've already done some reviews on some of their series. I've done Van Helsing versus Werewolf. I did a couple of issues out of that. I did Bell, and I did Robin Hood, The Curse. The last two I did just recently. Yeah, I like to basically describe this publisher as a throwback to the 1990s Top Cow and Image Comics. It gives me that feeling, like just a whole badass female characters that are sexy, but not as sexualized as it was back in the 90s. But they still, come across as really cool characters. Not SJW in any way, at least not any of the stuff that I've read at the moment. And great stories. I especially like the Belle one just because of how crazy out there it is. I mean, they basically took Belle from Beauty and the Beast, made her a beast hunter with a invisible motorcycle, her own bat cave, and then the issue ended with her mansion being eaten by giant Cthulhu monsters. So it's like, how the hell can you not love that issue? I saw that they were doing a crossover between Van Helsing and Robin Hood, so I definitely picked that up. I went in, I picked up the first one, and I also got the second one. So it's only a 4-parter, so it's going to be a small series, but it's been really awesome so far. So basically, to kind of set the groundwork, Robin and Van Helsing are both doing separate jobs that kind of lead towards the same crime boss. Basically, she's been hired by this woman to track down this one guy, the woman's son who's gone missing, and Van Helsing has been just hunting down vampires. She actually ends up coming across the person that Robin is searching for, but the person has already been turned into a vampire. And the person still has a little bit of his humanity left and basically tells Van Helsing that you have to basically investigate, you have to look into this certain thing. And then, Van Helsing is forced to kill him. And so the two of them basically go to this club to search for clues, and they end up bumping into each other, and they decide to team up. And there they discover that there's this new drug on the streets that basically turns people into vampires. And this crime boss is basically doing it for both A, money, and B, the vampires are becoming like subservient to him. And the issue ended with Robin being infected and becoming a vampire. And that's where we start off. I will say this, the artwork isn't terrible, but the artwork isn't as great as Belle or I believe Robin Hood the Curse also has some pretty good artwork. I can't remember. I know Belle had I really enjoyed the artwork in Belle. Not the worst artwork, but it's just, I don't know. There's just something about this artwork where sometimes it kind of feels, I guess the word I would use is flat. Like it doesn't really pop out at me, especially during the fight scenes. It really comes across like, I don't know, like there's no, I can't, I'm a writer and I'm like struggling for the words. I just woke up, so my brain's a little foggy, but it doesn't pop out at me. It's not like they need to exaggerate some of the poses and some of the stuff a little bit more, just so you get some of that oomph. So, we start off with Robin infected, and she charges at Van Helsing when all of a sudden some gunshots go off, and then we get the boss of the club shows up and basically orders for them to burn Robin. So they this guy just like rushes in with the flamethrower and tries to set the place on fire. But they're able to dodge out of the way. And Robin makes her escape while Van Helsing gets captured. So yeah, here's a here's a moment. So basically Robin is rushing out the doors. One of the bouncers tries to stop her, and she does like a flying kick that sends the bouncer through the door, and she escapes. So here's what that moment looks like. I don't know. It's just something about it just seems off to me. So we cut to Van Helsing tied to a chair being interrogated. And basically, we get the whole classic, like, answer my questions or, I'm going to beat you. And, Van Helsing tells him to piss off. I mean, it's a scene that's been done to death. So then we get introduced to Tess, a vampire who is subservient to the boss. This one actually seems to have somewhat of a mind of her own. Well, she seems to have more of a personality than the other vampires. Like just a little bit, but yeah, Tess kind of beats up on Van Helsing for a little bit, and Van Helsing kind of laughs it off. And then the vampire Tess is about to bite Van Helsing when this doctor tells her, like, give me like a few hours and I can come up with a serum that will basically force her to tell the truth. And the guy's like, you have 15 minutes. And then he leaves Van Helsing alone with this doctor. I don't know why I kind of started laughing to myself. So we get this like mad scientist doctor who is like working with supernatural creatures. And I'm just thinking, this dude looks exactly like the doctor in Hack/Resurrection. Same hairstyle, glasses, same beard goatee kind of combo. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of amusing. To be honest, with Hack/Resurrection, I didn't do a review on the latest issue, but I'm seriously debating dropping that series. I'm like really close to doing it. I think the only thing that's keeping me going a little bit further is just my strong bias towards Hack/. It's like my favorite franchise ever in comic books. So I want it to be good, and I kind of there's that collector's side of me that wants to collect all the issues, but there's just like another part of me that's like, you know what, my money isn't like the best right now. Maybe just spend that money towards something else. But that's neither here or there. Let's get back to this issue. I just wanted to bring that up. So yeah, we get Robyn being chased through the alleys by two vampires, and I don't know, just see, I could look at this panel. Okay, well, I actually look at some of these panels. It's just the art is just, it could be better. Like I said, not the worst, could be better. I mean, here we go. Like we see her, like she jumps out from the shadows and slashes like the neck open of one of these guys, and it's just, look at this pose. It looks weird. She shoves her fist through this other guy, and it's just, I don't know, something about it just. So then the doctor injects her with it, and then the doctor tells Tess, go tell your boss that she'll be ready in 10 minutes. And Tess leaves. And then once Tess leaves, the doctor says, I've injected you with sodium chloride. It'll have no effect on you. We don't have much time. We got to get out of here. So basically, it turns out that the doctor is actually kind of a good guy. And we later get his backstory. His friend/mentor was working for the boss, and kind of brought him along. Like the doctor had no idea what exactly was going on at first, and then by the time he got involved, he was already like way too deep into this mess. Like his mentor was murdered along with his family, and this doctor's daughter kind of used as a hostage. Like, either you do this for us, you work for us, or we're gonna kill your daughter. So basically, yeah, he was forced to work on this stuff. And now he's trying to find some kind of cure so he can undo the mess and the horrors that he's created. He takes Van Helsing back to his house where he can like gather his data and stuff like that, when all of a sudden they're attacked by dudes with guns. That they're henchmen of the boss. And Van Helsing basically beats the crap out of him. I don't know, I thought this part was kind of funny. Like, she jumps and she does basically a hurricanrana, or a head scissors takedown, and snaps this one guy's neck, or at least it looks like she snaps his neck, and steals his gun and aims it at this one guy. And the guy's like, you wouldn't shoot me, sweetie. And it's like, she literally just broke the neck of a guy in front of you. Why do you think she's not going to shoot you? So basically she shoots him in the leg, and then they are going to tie up the guy and question him. And then we cut back to Robyn, who is drenched in blood, but luckily it's vampire blood. And I say luckily because the doctor has told Van Helsing that we can still reverse the vampiric effects on your friend, but as soon as she tastes human blood, she's a vampire for good. Like there's no turning back once she has tasted human blood. But until then, she can still be cured. And all of a sudden, a old man, a bum, walks up to her and asks if she's okay. And then she tells the guy, you better run. And the guy starts running, and then Robyn hunts him down, tackles him, and basically is about to bite him, and that's how the issue ends. So now it's like the whole cliffhanger, like, oh no, is she gonna feast on human blood and become a vampire forever? I mean, obviously not, because Robyn Hood is a big character for this publisher, but yeah, that's how it ends. So I liked it. I've enjoyed this run so far. I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. Like I like these kind of stories. So let me just say that. If you like the whole like demon hunting kind of stories, even if they're a little bit cliche, then you will enjoy this. Like if you like, Blade, if you like the Supernatural series, if you like, I don't know, if you like the Helsing anime, basically if you like stuff where people hunt down demons, if you like stuff where badass, sexy chicks hunt down and fight monsters, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, then you will like this series. If you don't, then I would not recommend it, just because the story is kind of by the numbers and a little bit formulaic. Like as the story was going on, I was kind of able to guess. Okay, I think I know what's going to happen in the rest of this issue. It was a little bit predictable, but that's just because one, I've read a lot of stories like this, and two, as a writer, I've studied like a lot of different story structures and formulas and tropes and archetypes and stuff like that. So I can see when people are using them, and I can see like the direction sometimes that a story is going. So yeah, and also the artwork it's not terrible, but it's not the best. Like if I was to grade the artwork, I would give it maybe a B- or a C+. It's above average, but it could be a lot better. But yeah, I like the story. I'm going to continue getting the rest of this series, especially since it's only a 4-parter. So yeah, that was Van Helsing versus Robyn Hood issue number 2. Like I said, I recommend it with the asterisks, and those asterisks being if you like these kind of stories. If you're one of those people that like you can enjoy B movies, then yeah. If not, if you're one of those like it has to have like an amazing, fantastic, like Academy Award winning story, you're not gonna get that here. But it's a good popcorn flick. So I've enjoyed it, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.